Hello everyone. In the previous class we have seen how to create a linked list. So what is a list? What is linked list? What are the advantages and disadvantages of linked list? All that we have seen. And also I have explained how to denote one node, how to declare a node, each and every node of an element. And then we have discussed about various functionalities that are present for a linked list, like inserting various options for inserting, deleting, and then displaying and searching for an element. All these things we have discussed in the previous class. And to test whether our program is working or not, we have created stubs. So what is stub? It is a temporary replacement for a function or a module. So we have created stubs for all these functions in the previous class. That is, we have just created a temporary placeholders. So after the main function, in the main function we have a do while loop which displays all these functionalities as menu options, and based on what is the option chosen by the user, we have written switch statement, in which based on whatever the student gives, based on whatever the user gives as a choice, based on that the appropriate required data is taken from the user. And appropriate function is called, see here we are calling insert position function, insert at the end function, inserting before function. So here we have called delete first, delete end. So based on the option taken by the user, we have called appropriate functions. Now when we call a particular function by passing these values, what instructions needs to be actually executed and what value should be returned, for that we have to write the detailed function definition, which we have not written. So in the previous class we have just written stubs, and for wherever there is node star we have just written return first, like this, because otherwise we will not know where the error is present. So now we are going to do incremental implementation, that is, we are going to write the function definitions one by one, and we are going to test whether it is working properly or not. In case there is an error, before rectifying this we will not go to the next function, so that way it becomes easier to identify and rectify the mistakes as well. We will start with the easiest or the simplest functionalities, because once you enter some element, once you insert some element or delete some element, in insert also you have different options. So after performing each task, how to make sure that your task is properly performed? By displaying the list contents, isn't it? So only by displaying the list contents you will be able to know whether your task is properly done or not. So let us first write the definition for display function. Okay, so again here I am not going to write the detailed code, I will just write what is the logic and we will write the code in dev C++. So the first one is the display function. So display function prototype is, it doesn't return any value, so that the return type is void, and I am calling the display function by passing first pointer of the linked list. Okay, now what is the task? Now we have to move from one node to another, just display its contents, that's it. Now we cannot change pointer first, because that is going to have address of the first element. So we are going to create a temporary node. Now we need to write instructions for this. So how it works is, so we have a list of nodes like this. Okay, which is the actual linked list that you have created. So let us assume we have a linked list, and for each and every function you have to make sure all the necessary error conditions is verified. Okay, so now this is your first pointer which has address of the first node. Here we have data, and then next pointer which contains address of the next node. Now first, what is the possibility? Is there any errors while you are displaying? Yes. What if first pointer is null? Suppose first pointer contains null, it means your there is no list, or you have not created list, or you have created list and deleted all the elements. Okay, so whatever, list is empty. So if first pointer is null, list is empty. See here we have I had explained yesterday. Where is it? Okay, it's not there. I've erased it, I think. Yeah, it's not there. Anyways, so we are going to store the address of the first pointer in the we are going to store the address of the first node in the first pointer. If first pointer is null, it means there is no list and we have to display list is empty. Suppose the first pointer is not null, then I will create a temporary pointer of node type only. I will copy whatever is there in first, that I'll copy in temp, and then temp data we will print. Then whatever is first next, that will be copied to temp. Now temp will contain address of this node, it will print this data. Then temp will contain address of this node and it will print this data. So how to go to the next node? You have to just use the next pointer. So we will write the code for the same. So where is our display function? Display function is here, right? So node star temp. See, we already have first pointer as the parameter. Okay, node star first. So first pointer is already passed as the parameter. Now I will create a temporary node. First I'll check whether first is null. If first is null, print that the list is empty. Okay, list is empty. Else, so if first pointer is not null, then we have to print. So how to print the contents? First we will assign first pointer to null, temp is a temporary pointer. We are storing whatever is there in first, that is copied to temp, and while temp not equal to null, okay, while temp not equal to null, just print the values, that's it. Only one instruction, so there is no need of curly braces. So I'll just write %d/t, and what am I supposed to display? Data contained in the address of temp. That's it. Okay, and yeah, so nothing else. So every time you write a function, so understand this, if first pointer is null, we are going to display that the list is empty. If first pointer is not null, then I'll copy contents of first pointer to temp. First pointer I am not modifying, I am just copying that address into one more pointer. Now as long as temp not equal to null, here I need one more instruction. Okay, as long as temp not equal to null, we have to keep moving to the next element. Okay, temp next. Now it is right. You can even write for loop. If you write for loop, all these things will be in one list itself. Like this you can write for temp equals to first, then temp not equal to null, temp equals to temp next, and then you can write the printf statement inside this for loop. So like this also you can write. As far as possible, what I do is, when we have this pointer assignments, I usually don't write it in for loop, because when we write everything comes in one single line, it becomes slightly difficult or confusing to understand. So usually when it comes to data structure programs, I prefer while and do while loops if it contains pointers. If it contains normal variables like your I, j and all that, you can use for loops. Here I don't prefer, but you can do it. So temp equals to first, address of first pointer, address present in first pointer is copied to temp, and as long as it is not null, we are going to print the content, and after printing the data stored in that node, we are going to the next pointer. So this we keep on doing until we reach the end of the list. So now I will save this program and we will execute. Since we have not inserted any elements, when I try to display the contents, I am going to get this list is empty option as the list is empty as the output. Run. Now I'll give option 11, which is display list contents. Okay, so after I gave list as 11, it says list is empty. Okay, my option was 11, so it says list is empty because first pointer is null. We have not yet given any value there. Okay, so now I'll give 12 for exit option and we come out of the program. So right now this is working fine. Now this else part I need to check whether it works fine or not. For that, first the list should contain some elements. So we will write the next definition that we write is going to be insert functionalities, and in insert also we have written so many functionalities. First let us write insert beginning function. So what is this insert beginning is, see, you have a list like this, you have to create a node. Whenever you want to insert a new node in the beginning, first create memory for this node using malloc function, which is dynamic memory allocation. After creating this, store whatever data you want to store that, and in the next pointer you have to just copy address of the first whatever is there in first pointer. What does first pointer contain? Address of the first element of this list. That address we copy to the next pointer of this one, because after inserting this element, this blue color whatever I have written, this is going to be your first node. Okay, now whatever is your presently first node, that will become the second element. Say right now you have 20, 30, 40, 50. These are the elements you have right now. First is a pointer that contains address of this element 20. Now if I want to insert an element 10, which is before 20, if I want to insert, then first I'll create memory to store this 10. Then there is a next pointer in this node which I will copy whatever is there in first. First contains address of 20, right? That address I'll copy here. So 10 next will also contain address of 20, and then this I need to change because only through first pointer I will know what is the first element. Okay, so then we need to readjust the first pointer. So that's all is the procedure. Now what if the list is empty? Suppose the list is empty, first pointer is going to contain null. So this list of elements will not be present only. In this case, if I give insert at beginning, then node is created, memory is created for this, value is copied here. Now since it is null, first pointer is null, means there is no list now, and this is the first element that you are inserting, means there is no next element. Again the same code works there also. So just copy whatever is there in first into this, and then copy address of this one into the first pointer. Okay, so you don't have to check if the list is empty. Okay, so if whether the list is empty or not, for insertion and deletion functions you have to check. In case of other functionalities, for inserting at the beginning, this code should work without checking a special condition for empty list. So we will write that code here. Okay, so first thing is what all parameters we have. We have address of the first element of the linked list and the number to be inserted. Now first we need to create a temporary node star temp. Now I need to allocate memory for this using dynamic memory allocation. So how to use dynamic memory allocation? Temp is equal to node star malloc size of node. So how this malloc works is, malloc is memory allocation function. It will allocate memory. Okay, malloc, it will allocate how many ever bytes we tell here, that many bytes is allocated. Like you can give 20, 30, like that also you can give. Or instead of giving numbers, we decide the compiler to check. Why is that required is, if you are using a 32-bit compiler, the number of bytes allotted for each data type is different, and if you are using a 64-bit compiler, the number of bytes allotted will be different. So instead of deciding how many bytes are allotted here, you have to make sure the program works irrespective of the type of compiler you are using to execute. Therefore, we will give the size of operator. Using size of operator, we are going to mention the data type. So compiler is going to decide, it will determine how many bytes are required for node data type. That many bytes of memory is allotted. After allotting memory, we need to definitely convert it to the data type before assigning it, because we have pointer arithmetic. So whenever we are allocating memory, we need to convert it to a specific type. So to indicate that this particular location is used to store address of element of type node. Okay, so this is called as typecasting, which is definitely required in case of dynamic memory allocation. Okay, so that is what we have done here. So node star malloc size of node, whenever you need to insert an element, this is compulsorily required. So just you can even by heart it. This is how we are going to write. So we have allocated memory. Next, in the data part of it, I will store num. Okay, and since this is going to be my first element, whatever is currently whatever is first element is going to become the second element. So that address should be copied in temp next. Now I have attached it. Now the first pointer should contain address of this element. So first is equal to temp. Next is return first. I'll explain this code with example. Let me assume we don't have any list, because currently we don't have any list, no? So we'll assume there is no list, means first pointer is containing null. Now I am creating a pointer called node temp. Okay, I have created a pointer called temp which requires 2 bytes of memory. Next, I have allotted memory dynamically, and that address I have stored here. Means for node, what is node? It has one data and one next pointer. Okay, so this memory is allotted somewhere at location 2000, and now this is stored in temp. That is the meaning of this code. So how many bytes ever is required to store this node data type? That many bytes of memory is allocated. After allocating this memory, it is converted to node star type, and this address. So what do we mean by converting it to node star type is, in node we have 2 elements. No, one is the data and the another one is pointer. So accordingly this one will be named. Okay, so here you are going to have data, here you are going to have next. So by giving this as node star, this type of naming will happen. Okay, and this address is now stored in temp, which is what has happened here. Now I will give temp data equals to num, right? So the next instruction is temp data equals to num. So whatever is there in num variable is copied to temp data. So temp refers to the memory block that starts at 2000. At 2000 I have 2 variables, 2 members. What are they? One integer variable and a pointer variable. So temp contains 2 components. One is data, one is next. So the data belonging to temp means the data belonging to this memory block at 2000. There I am storing the number. And next instruction is temp next equals to first. Since this is going to be my first element right now, whatever is the present first element, that address that is going to become the second element. So that address should be present here. So what is there in first? As of now, null is there. That null gets copied to the next variable belonging to temp. So that will be copied here. What is the next instruction? First equals to temp. Now in first, I am copying whatever is there in temp. So it's going to be 2000. Hope this is clear. Now again, suppose I call the function insert at beginning, I am calling again. Now this temp is created freshly. See, we are returning this 2000. So that is stored in the main function. So again we are creating temp freshly. So freshly I am allocating memory. So let me assume it is at memory location 2400, and so that is stored here. Now temp data is num, whatever is there in num, say 30, that is copied to temp data. Now temp next equals to first. What is there in first? First contains 2000, that is stored in the next part of temp. So 2000 is going to be here. Next is first equal to temp. So whatever is there in temp, that is stored in first, which becomes 2400. Next time in any of the function, when I refer to the first pointer, which is my first element, or where is my first element, it is at location 2400, which is this. So 30 will get displayed. Where is the next element? At location 2000, which is this. So 20 will get displayed. Okay, so this is inserting an element in the beginning of the list. And since we are modifying address of the first pointer and we are returning this first pointer, this is stored in the first pointer of main function, and that is what we are going to use it as parameter for all other functions. Okay, so our inserting beginning code is written. I will save it, and we should always compile after every change. We should always compile it before executing. Now we will run. See, first I'll give option 11, that is to display list contents. It says list is empty. Now I'll choose option 1, which is insert at the beginning, because I have written the function definition for this one. So I have given choice as 1. So basically this is getting executed. Okay, so this was displayed. I gave choice as 11. Since I gave choice as 11, that is stored in choice variable and passed to the switch statement. Case 11 is display function, and it passes first as the parameter, and first pointer actually contains value null. Okay, so we went to this display function, and here first pointer actually contains null, and when we check this condition it was true, so this was displayed. Now then the function goes back, then the compiler goes back to this point, and while choice not equal to 12, so this do while loop will get executed again, because the choice was not 12. I had given 11 as a choice, not 12, so it will be executed again. So the menu is again displayed, and I have given choice 1 now. Since I have given choice 1, it is asking me what is the number to be inserted. Whatever I give, that is stored in variable num, and then it is passed to the insert beginning function. Okay, so I am going to give number as 100. Now it is inserted, and see, no message is displayed. I think it would be better if we could display number element inserted successfully, so that we can display in that insert beginning function. Now it is inserted in the list. How to make sure? I will display the contents now. See, when I display the contents, it has displayed 100. Okay, now again I'll give first choice, enter number to be inserted, I'll give 120, and this is going to be inserted in the beginning of the list. So earlier 100 was there, now that is pushed to the second position, and this is going to be the first position. Now if I display the contents of the list, I should get 120 then 100. Okay, I'll give choice as 11. See, the elements are 120 then 100. Okay, now insert beginning function is working fine when the list is empty, and also when the list has certain elements, and your display function is also working correctly now, because when the list was empty it displayed empty. When the list is not empty, it is displaying the contents correctly. Okay, so I'll give 12 and we exit. So these two functions, insert beginning and display, is working fine. We have tested this. So now this is called as incremental testing. I felt certain things would be better, like list is empty. Suppose the list is not empty. I want to print first list elements are as follows, then have the data. So I felt that would look better, so I'm adding that. And here also, after inserting, I'm not getting any message, right? So what I'll do is I will display a message here. Before returning to the main function, I am going to display insertion successful. Okay, I'll save it. Now compile, next run the program. I'll give a choice as 11, list is empty. Now I'll give choice as 1, element to be inserted is 12. See, after inserting 12, it shows enter number to be inserted. I've given 12. Immediately it is giving the message insertion successful, which was not done earlier. Okay, so now it looks better. Now I'll display the contents. So earlier list was empty, now the list has certain elements and it displays list elements are as follows. Okay, so now I feel my output is more better than previous output. So this is the advantage of incremental testing. You want to do any improvisation or you want to rectify any errors, it can be easily done when you do it function wise. Now as far as my display function and insert beginning function, they are working fine. Okay, the next function is insert end. So here to insert end, so when we wanted to insert in the beginning, I told you that we need not even check whether the list is empty or not, because anyways we are going to whatever element, whatever node we are creating, that is going to be the first node. So the next node, the existing first node is going to become the next node. So whether the existing node is empty or not, it's going to be same. Okay, so here the next question, the next function is inserting at the end. So while we are inserting at the end, what are we supposed to do? So here we have a node, right? So let me just remove this. Okay, now here I have a list is there. Now I need to insert an element at the end of the list. Always whenever you have this linked list programs, consider these three conditions. What if the list is empty? First write the code for assume this there is a list like this, and then write the code for inserting element at the end of the list. Then if my list is empty, will this work? Think about that. If the list has only one element, will this work? Think about that. Okay, these two things you have to consider. Okay, so remember, assume there is an existing list and write the code for inserting an element at the end or at a given position. Then decide whether this code will work if the list is already empty, or whether this code works when the list has only one element. Okay, these are the two things you need to consider. Sometimes what you have to do is, I mean, it's all up to your wish. So what you can think is, what if the list is empty? You can start from that thought process. Then you can move further. Then you can think, okay, what if the list already has contents? So I usually do this way. So I assume the list is already present. Based on that, I write the piece of code. After writing, then I will think, okay, if the list is empty, will this work or not? If the list has only one element, will this work or not? If that requires a special case, then I write it as using different if else statements, we will write it. Okay. Right now, we have to insert an element at the end of the list, right? Here we have to insert. To insert it here, what all things are required? First, we need to write, first we need to create memory, right? Create a memory. Then using malloc function. Then we are going to store the number, say 40 or something. Since this is going to be at the end, we are inserting an element at the end, therefore the last node, always the next pointer is null for the last node, right? So no need to think whether the list is empty or not, we will just make the next pointer null. So this is the temporary, this is a node that we have created. Address we have stored in a pointer variable called temp. Now I need to attach it to the existing list. So after creating the node, now I will check whether the list is empty. If the list is empty, first pointer will be null, and I will address this address to the first pointer itself by giving first equals to temp. So since the list is empty, when I say insert at the end, that is going to be the first element also, last element also. Okay. Suppose the list is not empty. Then what we have to do is assign a pointer for the first one. Okay, by giving t equals to first. Now As long as t next is not equal to null, keep traversing through the list until end of the list. Okay, you have to keep moving towards the end of the list. How long? As long as the next pointer is not null. Because what do you mean by that condition, next pointer not null? Means you still have elements. If the next pointer is null in any of the node, means that is the last element. And since right now you are inserting an element in the end, for the last pointer, I mean the next pointer of the last node, you have to store the address of this new node. Okay, so we will write a while loop where we check while t next not equal to null, we keep moving next. Okay, so t next is not null, therefore t equals to t next we will give. So t is going to point to the next node. Now is the next pointer null? No. So I am moving t to the next one. Is the next pointer null? No. I will move to t to this node. Is the next pointer null? Yes, right? So as long as the next pointer is not null, we need to repeat. Now next pointer not null is false because next pointer is null now. When t is in this node, t next, this is data. Okay, t next is null. It means I am pointing to, or the pointer is pointing to the last element of the node, or last element of the list. Now this next pointer is null, no? Here I have to store address of this pointer, the new memory location that is created. So now I have to give t next is equal to temp. So whatever is the address of this temp, that is stored in t next now. Therefore now this is going to be a last pointer. Okay, I mean last node. So this is inserting at the end. So we are going to write the code for the same. For inserting at the end, so first I'll write node star temp. This is to create a node and store the address. This star t, you can use any names. Okay, star t I am using for adding the node to the, for moving from first to the last. So first we will create the memory. Temp is equal to, because anyways we are going to attach it to the list. So we will create the node, keep it ready, and we will check what is the status of the list, and accordingly we will add. Okay, node star malloc size of node. Now I have created memory. In that temp I am storing num, and since this is going to be the last element, next pointer must be null. Now I have created the node, I have copied the value, I have assigned the next pointer as null since this is the last node of the list. Now I need to attach this to the list. So if first equals to null means if the list is empty. First equals to temp. So whatever is the new node that is created, that address only I am copying to first. Else means first pointer is not null. It means your list already contains some elements. Here you make it t is equal to first. So address of the first, whatever address is present in the first pointer, that is stored in another variable called t. While t next is not equal to null, means as long as you still have elements left out, I am going to give t equals to t next, means keep moving to the next pointer until you reach the end of the list. So once you come out of the loop, you would have reached the end of the list. So that's why you have come out of the loop. Now t next was null, no? That is the reason you have come out of the loop. What do you mean by t next null? That is the last node of your list. So now at that next pointer, I am copying the address contained in temp pointer. That's it. This is going to create, this is going to insert a node at the end of the list. Again, let us check this. Sorry, I have to first compile. No errors. Now we will run the program. Now see, first I'll give display list elements. List is empty. Now I'll give insert at the beginning, which is choice 1, which we have already written the function. So number to be inserted, I'll give 15. Now I'll display the list. See, list elements are as follows. We have 15 as the list content. Okay. Now I'll give insert at the end option, which is option 2. Now enter the number to be inserted. I'll give 25. Now I'll display the content. See, we have 15, after that we have 25. Okay, and then again I'll give option 2. I will give 30. I'll display the contents 15, 25, 30. So I will quit the program by giving option 12. So when the list already has contents, inserting at the end is working fine. Now I'll check if the list is empty, will that option work or not. I'll run the program. See, choice 11 is displaying the contents. The list is empty. Now I'll give choice 2, which is inserting at the end. I will give the number to be inserted as 50. Now I will again display the contents. See, list elements are as follows, which is 50. Again I'll give insert at the end 60. See, we have got 50, after that we have got 60. So the program is working fine whether the list is empty or whether it already contains some elements. Inserting at the end is also working correctly. Next is inserting at a given position. So to insert at a given position, we will see what all conditions we need to check. Okay. So what do you mean by insert at a given position is, I am going to insert a number not in the beginning or in the end. I will say third position, fifth position. In that position the number needs to be inserted. Again I am going to consider the same list which already has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nodes. Now I want to insert an element at position number 3. So what are conditions you need to check? First, is the position valid or not? That is what you need to check. So first thing, if the list is empty, then there are no elements only. So whatever position number you give, it's going to be invalid, right? So that is one condition that you need to check, that is whether the list is empty. So this is one condition you need to check. Next one, what you need to check is the position equal to 1? If the position equal to 1 means you have to insert an element in the first position. It is same as inserting in the beginning, right? So we will call insert beginning function. Okay, so we are going to call insert beginning function if the position number is 1. Clear? Right. What if the list is empty and the position number is 1? Then it is valid, no? Because since the list is empty, at position number 1 you can insert the value. So therefore we will let us check position equals to 1 as the first condition. So if the position is 1, then whether the list is empty or not, you are going to call the insert beginning function. If position is not 1, then if the list is empty, then that position number is going to be invalid. See, suppose I don't have any contents in the list and then they say position number 2 or 3. So which is invalid. No, I can't keep the first position blank. It's not possible. So therefore the number position is invalid is the message that needs to be displayed. And if the list is not empty and position number is also not 1, then we use t equals to first, and then we use a while loop. We keep proceeding further as long as list has not reached the end or the POS has not reached that particular position. Okay. So these are the two conditions until which you have to execute the loop. Now what if the list has reached the end? See, right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is there. Maximum you can add is in position number 6. Right? Not beyond that. Clear? Since we are in position, we have at 5 elements. Maximum position where we can insert is position number 7. Or we can in between also we can insert the values. But the position in this case can't be more than 7. Okay. So in such cases you will reach the end of the loop and then you add a number over there, add a node, add an element or node in that position. What if you have reached the end of this position which says 5? Here right now position number is 5, and if you want to insert at position 10, which is not possible because it is an invalid position. Hope it is clear. And here we are going to add a new element for position number 5. Copy some values over here. Now how to assign it? As I told you, always establish new links. then you modify the changing links. Okay, so here we have position number 5. So this is a new node that is created here. The next pointer is going to contain address of this. Then we are going to change next pointer of the third node. So keep in mind, if you have to insert an element at 4th position, you should be in the 3rd position. If you have to be in the 3rd position, means the position number should be equal to 3. Okay, position number is equal to 4. Then you have to give position until less than position minus 1. Okay, so where the counter variable should move through the list as long as count is less than position minus 1, so that you can adjust the next pointer of that node. See, this is a singly linked list, means it is a unidirectional list. You can only move in this direction. In the other direction, you can't move. So we have doubly linked list, which is helpful for creating such type of programs where you have to pass to and fro. But right now, since you are moving forward, you cannot come back forward. In this case, always make sure that you are establishing new links. Then you have to change the existing links. Okay, so that is one of the tip that I have given in the previous class also. And in a singly linked list, you can move only towards this direction. You cannot come back to the previous element. It means once you are moving forward, once you are at say 3rd element, you will not have any idea where was the 2nd element or where is the next element or how many elements are left over. So all you need to know is whether there is a next element or not. Now let us write code for the same. Inserting at a given position. So remember what all conditions I am going to consider while writing the code. So for this also we will create temp and t. But for inserting at a position, there is a possibility that insertion might fail. Like for example, if the list is empty and I give that at position number 3 we have to insert, that position is invalid, right? So if the position is invalid, then the insertion must fail, which is not a case in inserting at the beginning and end. So in inserting in beginning and end, anyways the insertion will definitely happen. So that's why I created a node and I immediately allotted memory and I copied the value also. Same thing here also. I created a node, I allotted memory and then I copied the value. Here I am only creating a pointer. I will not create the memory required for inserting a node unless until I know that insertion is possible. If insertion is not possible, I will not allocate memory only. Okay. So for this what we have to do is, don't write that malloc function in the beginning. Do it only when you find a suitable position. Otherwise don't do it. Okay. So first I'll check if position is equal to 1. If position is equal to 1 means whether the list is empty or not, I am going to insert an element in the beginning of the list because that is the first position. So which is same as insert beginning, right? So I will call that function. I will not write the code again. I will call insert beginning function. For that I will pass the first pointer and the number to be inserted. Okay. So if position is 1, it means the code is going to be same as insert beginning option. So I will call insert beginning function itself. Else if means position is not 1, means something else. In that case, insertion will happen only if the list is not empty. If the list is empty and if I have given some other position, then it is an invalid one. So I will check if first is equal to null. If first is null, then empty list, insertion failed. Okay, so we are not doing any insertion. Else. So what is this else, or when does we come to else? Position is not 1 means we are not inserting in the beginning of the list. So we have to insert somewhere in the middle. Now I'll check if the list is empty, then there is no invalid position. So I'll say that the list is empty, insertion failed. Now position is not 1, list is also not empty. Now I have to find that position. Again, the position might be invalid. What if I have a list with 5 elements? and I ask the program to insert an element at the 8th position, which is not valid. If we have 5 elements, then maximum I can insert in the 6th position, not beyond that. So the invalid position might occur here also. For this, what we have to do is, we will take t equals to, first I have a pointer which is going to, where I have copied the address of the first pointer. I will have one variable called count, which is made as 0 in the beginning. Here t is equal to first and count plus plus, means count is 1 now because we are counting the number of elements. So this is the first element. While t next not equal to null, okay, while t next not equal to null means as long as some more elements are present in the list, we will move to the next element, okay. T equals to t next and count plus plus. Okay, so while t next not equal to null and count less than position minus 1. So as long as count is less than position minus 1, the loop will get executed. Once count becomes equal to position minus 1, it comes out of the loop. So I have told you why we need to use position minus 1, because if I have to insert an element at 5th position, I have to be in the 4th position, because 4th position's next pointer needs to be modified, right? So I have to be in the 4th position. So I have given count less than position minus 1. So position is 5, 5 minus 1 is 4. So count should be less than 4, means as until 3 the loop will get executed. When count becomes equal to position minus 1, we come out of the loop, okay. So either we need to reach the end of the loop, or we need to reach the either we need to reach the end of the list, or we need to reach the required position, okay. So as long as both are true, that is count is still not reached the position and the list it's not yet reached the end of the list, in that case we just keep moving to the next pointer and we just keep counting the variable, that's it. Now when we come out of the while loop, there are two situations why we might have come out of the while loop. Either t next became equal to null, means we have reached the end of the list, or count reached the position. In both these cases, we might have come out of the loop. Now insertion will happen only if count has reached the required position. So I will check after coming out of the loop, if count is equal to position minus 1, means I have found the required position, or the position that I have given is a valid position. Only in this case insertion will happen. So here I will create the memory, okay, node star malloc size of node, okay, and data is equal to num. I've created memory, I've copied the number to be inserted. Now whatever is see, right now I am in, suppose I want to insert at position number 5, right now I am in position number 4. Now 4th node's next pointer contains 5th node's address. Since now I am going to insert the new node that I have created in the 5th position. Currently whatever is the 5th element is going to become the 6th element. It means that address should be present in the next pointer of newly created node. Okay, so try to understand clearly. Now what I do is, for the newly created node, the next pointer is going to be whatever is current t's next pointer. Okay, right now t next is the 5th value. Now temp next is going to be that value, and t next is equal to temp. Okay, so now the next pointer of the 4th element, 4th node, is pointing to the newly created pointer. That's it. This ensures that the element is inserted. Now once that is done, we will write a printf statement saying insertion successful, or insertion successful, or insertion done, whatever you want you can write. Next, else count is not equal to position minus 1, then we display that invalid position insertion failed. Okay, that's it. So this finishes the function inserting at a given position. Will compile. Here no semicolon. Now we will run the program inserting at a given position. So that is the choice 3. I will give number to be inserted as 25. Position number I'll give 5. See, right now list is empty. So 5th position number is an invalid position. So it says in empty list insertion failed. Now again I'll give choice 3 and then I'll give 25. Position number I'll give 1. Means I want to insert element 25 at position number 1. This is going to call insert beginning function. Yes, see, insertion successful has come. Now I will use option 11 to display contents of the list, which is 25. Now again I will give option 3, number to be inserted is 35. Position number I'll give 2, which is the last element. Okay, insertion successful. So let me check the contents. See, 25, after that 35 it's present. So inserting at a given position is working fine when the position is 1, it is inserting the element. If the list is empty and if I am giving a wrong position, it says that insertion failed because of empty list. And see, right now list is not empty, it has some elements and I will give a position which is not valid. Okay, I'll give choice 3, number to be inserted is 40. I'll give position number 5, which is not possible. Invalid position insertion failed. Okay, so hopefully this is clear. I'll just close that execution. So this is inserting at a given position. So inserting before a given element is same as inserting at a given position. So when we want to insert an element at 5th position, I told you we have to be in the 4th position. Similar to that, if I have to insert an element before a given key element, I have to be in the previous node. Okay, and here also insertion might fail. If the key element is not found, insertion might fail. So I will not create memory immediately, but I will just create the pointer. Only if insertion is possible, that is if that key element is found, I will create the memory. Okay, so node star temp star t. Now I will first check if first is equal to null, means if the list is empty. If the list is empty, then how can I search for a given element and add it before that? Not possible, right? So I will mention list is empty, key element not present. Okay, so this is if the first pointer is not having any address, means it's a null pointer, then this is your error message that you're going to say, because the list is empty, you can't find key element, you can't insert an element before that. Else, so list is not empty. So we first check whether data contained in this first pointer itself has the number to be stored. So if first data itself is equal to num, we have to insert the element in the beginning itself. So first is equal to insert beginning first comma num. So if I have to insert in position number 1, I will call the insert beginning function. Okay, now first data is not the required first data should be equal to key element, sorry. So if first data is equal to key element, then we will insert before that. For that we will call insert beginning function. Else means list is not empty, it has some elements, and first data is not the required key element, means you have many more data, and the program wants to check entire list for the key element. If key element is present, before that we are going to add this new element. Okay, so here I will give t equals to first. Okay, so t is first, while t next not equal to null, we will check if t next data is equal to key. If t next data is equal to key, break, else t is equal to t next. Okay, t next data is equal to key, we break the loop, otherwise we just move forward. And when I come to the next line, that is out of for loop, out of while loop, there might be two situations when I have come out of the loop. One is t next has become null, so we might have come out of the loop, or the next data is there. Okay, so in the next element we have key, so in that case also we come out of the loop so that insertion happens. So now we check if t next is null, it means we have come out of the loop, or we have reached the end of the loop and we have still not found the key element. Okay, so if t next is equal to null, printf key element not found, therefore insertion failed. Okay, else means t next is not null, it means we have not reached the end of the loop but still we have come out of the loop. It is because the next element's data is equal to the key element, t next data equals to key. Now here I will create memory for the node. Okay, malloc size of node, temp data equals to num. Now what is temp next? It is same as t next, and then since we have to insert it before, t next is equal to temp. That's it. Again here we need to write insertion successful. Okay, so now we will execute this. Here I'll give enter your choice. I'll first give display, list is empty. Okay, then I'll give before given key element. Right now the list is empty, but I'm giving before given key element. Choice is 4, number to be inserted I'll give 40, key element I'll give 50. List is empty, key element not present. Since the list is empty, this error message has come. Now I'll give choice 1, I'll give 20, choice 2, which is end of the list, I'll give 30. Now I'll display the contents. We have 20 and 30. Now I will mention insert after before a given element, which is of choice 4. I will give number to be inserted as 40 after number 50, which is not existing actually. So key element not found, therefore insertion failed. Okay, so both the conditions were checked. When the list is empty, key element is not found, it gave error message. When the list is not empty, it just checked and then it reached the end of the loop where the key element was not found. So next I will give, what are the contents? 20 and 30. Next I'll give insert element 25, key element is 30, means before 30 it should get inserted. Now I'll check. See, 20, 25 and 30. Okay, number is inserted before 30. Now it is between in the middle of the list. Now I'll give key element as 20 itself, means the first pointer's data itself contains 20, and whatever number I am going to give should become the first element. Okay, so I'll give option 4, which is for inserting at a given, before a given position. Enter number to be inserted, I'll give 10. Key element I'll give 20. Okay, insertion successful. Display the contents 10, 20, 25 and 30. Okay, so that is about inserting before. Now with this references, I will give you an assignment, which is for inserting after. I want you to write the code with reference to this, and I will be sharing the complete program in the Telegram channel. So whether you're watching it now or later, you can include this, you can check your code with the code that I shared with you. Insert after, only for this I am going to share the code in the Telegram channel. So based on all the explanations done so far, I want you to think in those terms and write your own code for insert after. So now what we do is, next is deleting options. Okay, so first we have to first function that we have under delete is delete the beginning element. Node star temp. So first I check whether the list is empty. If first is null, then I give list empty or empty list, deletion failed. Okay, we couldn't delete anything because it was an empty list. Else means list is not empty. Here I am not giving the key element to delete. Whatever is there, first element must be deleted, right? So else means list is not empty. What you have to do is, whatever is there in the first pointer, that is to be stored in temp. Now I will temp equals to first, first equals to first next, means now first is going to point to the next element. I mean in temp I am storing address that is contained in the first pointer. Now first pointer I am moving it to the next pointer. Now temp's next I am making it null. Now I basically have detached the first element from the list. Now I am going to give free temp. Free is a function used for releasing the memory held by a particular pointer. So I will save this program. Let us compile and then execute. First equals to first next. I'll give enter your choice. First number to be inserted is 40, again 1, 30, 1, 20, 1, 10. Okay, so list contents are 10, 20, 30 and 40. Now what is the question? Deleting in the beginning, right? So what I'll give is, I'll give option number 6. Option number is deleting first element is option number 6. So I'll give enter your choice 6. So nothing has come because it means the element is deleted. We will make sure by going to the 11th choice. Okay, we have 20, 30 and 40. So right now display function, delete beginning function is working fine when the list is not empty. Okay, so what we will do is, I will give delete first element option again. Now 20 should be deleted. I have only 30 and 40. Again I'll give sixth option. Now 30 is also deleted. I have only 40. Again give sixth option, and even that is deleted. Now the list is empty. Now try to give again sixth option. it says empty list deletion failed. Is that clear? So that's about deleting the first element. Next is we need to delete an element that is present in the end of the list. Again here first we need to check whether the list is empty. If the list is empty, we say the same thing. List is empty, therefore deletion failed. If the list is not empty, then we have to first check which is the end of the loop. So if there is only one element in the list, which is the first pointer's element, then we will have to remove that element and then store null or return null to the main function. Therefore the first pointer is again becoming a null pointer. It means there are no elements left over in the list. Otherwise, take another pointer, keep moving till the end until you reach the next pointer. Once you reach the next pointer, you can just free that pointer. Okay, these are the two options or various conditions that we need to check here. So I will give node star temp. Okay, if first equals to null, list empty, deletion failed. Okay, else means list is not empty. In that case, temp equals to first while temp next not equal to null, because I have to change the next pointer. So next not equal to null. Again here, since we are deleting the last element, I have to be in the previous element because the next pointer needs to be modified. So if temp next equals to null, means there is one more element that is present in the end. So temp next not equal to null, temp equals to temp next. Okay, here we come out of the loop only when we are in the last but one element of the list. Now when I come out of the loop, I am in that position wherein the next pointer is going to be the last element. Okay, so I will have one more pointer here. Let us keep the code standard. So I'll give t equals to first while t next not equal to null, t equals to t next. Okay, so once we are there, that is just before the previous element, here I will assign temp is equal to t next. So the last element I have assigned to temp. Okay, now I will make t next as null, means I am detaching the last element from the list. Next free temp. So let us check whether this is working fine or not. Before this, we need to check one more condition, that is else if first next equals to null, means I have only one element in the list. Okay, understand? If first equals to null means list is empty, so there won't be any deletion happening. Suppose first next equals to null means first is having a address of the first pointer or the first node, and its next pointer itself is null, means we have only one element in the list and that needs to be deleted. So in that case, assign temp is equal to first. Okay, now first you make it null, next you free temp. So I think this should work. Let us check right now. I will save it, compile, run. Now first we need to insert certain elements to delete the element. So I'll give choice 1, number to be inserted 25, choice 1, number to be inserted 15, choice 2, number inserted 35, choice 2, inserted 50. Now I'll see the contents. We have 15, 25, 35 and 50. Now I want to insert I want to delete the last element, which is option number 7. Okay, when I give option number 7, let me check whether the number is deleted. Yes, the last element is deleted. Right now I have 15, 25 and 35. Again I give 7. So 35 should be deleted and I have only 15 and 25. Again I give 7. So only 15 is left out. Again I'll give 7 and only no more elements. We have yes, so all the elements are deleted. Okay, so that is deleting in the end. Now deleting at a given position, for this also same as insert position, we have to do delete position. First we need to check whether position is valid. If it is valid, we have to delete it. Here we are not adding a new element. Again here we need to be in the previous position. If I want to delete fifth element, I need to be in the fourth element. And whatever is, since I am going to delete fifth element, whatever is presently sixth element is going to become the fifth element. So fourth element's next pointer should point to the sixth element, and then fifth element we need to detach from the list, and then we need to delete it. Okay, so we will check all the conditions now. Node star temp comma star t. I think 2 pointers are required. So what I check is, first I'll check whether first equals to null. If first equals to null means there is no list only. So whatever position number they have given, it's going to be invalid only, right? Because there is nothing to delete. So we can write empty list, deletion failed. Okay, this is if first pointer is null. Else, so first pointer is not null, so first pointer is not null, but I have given position number as 1, means I want to delete the first element. So if I have given position number as 1, so it is same as deleting first element, for which I am going to give this code, first equals to delete beginning, same code, no? So I'll give this first. Okay, suppose list is not empty and I am not deleting the first element, then I have to do the proper coding. So t equals to first. I have assigned the address of the first element to a pointer called t, while t next not equal to null, and have to start counting here. So I will take int count equals to 0 also, t equals to first, and then count plus plus. So I am in the first element, while t next not equal to null. Because I am deleting the element at a given position, I have to be in the previous position, right? So, and I should not reach the end of the list. So I'll give just t next not equal to null, means I have not reached the end of the list. We will keep moving to the next element and we keep incrementing. So when we come out of the loop, either the last pointer we have reached, that is next is equal to null, or we have reached count equals to position minus 1. Okay, means we have reached either end of the list or we have reached the required position. So I will check if count is equal to position minus 1. Means if I have reached the required position for deleting, then means if I have to delete the fifth element, right now I am in the fourth position. Okay, so if that is the case, then I will assign temp equals to T next. Okay, right. So temp is equal to T next and T next is equal to temp next. Okay, next is temp next equals to null. Free temp. It's not equal. Okay, fine. So this will work. Else means I have not reached the position. Then we will print invalid position, deletion failed. Let us check this code now. So this is deleting at a given position, right? Yeah. So first we will insert certain elements. So right now the elements are 10, 20, 30 and 40. So I will give the option number 8, choice number 8, that is deleting element at a given position. So enter position of the element to be deleted. I will give position as 8, which is invalid, right? So it says invalid position, deletion failed. Then again I'll give choice 8. I will say position number 1 means the element 10 should be deleted. And then I should have 20, 30, 40. Yes, that is correct. Then I will give position number as 2. So 30 should be deleted and I should be left with 20 and 40. Yes, 20 and 40 it's working. Now I'll delete the last element and I'll check whether it is working, which is position number 2 in this case. Option 8, position of the element to be deleted is 2 and I'll check. Yes, 20. So it is working fine. Whatever we give, the deletion is happening correctly. Now deleting a key element, this also is going to be your assignment, because under insertion I have given 1 as your assignment. Under deletion also you take 1 as this assignment. Here we need to delete a given key element, means we have to keep searching whether the next element's data is equal to key. Then we have same as this. See, we have done if first data equals to key, if T next data equals to key. Very similar conditions needs to be checked here also. So make sure you're doing it. So these two functions are going to be your assignment. Next is search functionality. See, for searching in the main function itself, I have written this. Okay, position equals to search, the first pointer and the key element. If the function returns 0, then element is not in the list. If the function returns some other value other than 0, then it says element found at position number. Okay, so the output is taken care of in the main function itself. Here we have to return only the position number where the element was found, if at all it is present. So now let us write here. First we will write node star temp or T. Okay, anything, doesn't matter. So if first is equal to null, means list doesn't contain any elements only, then definitely the element is not found, isn't it? So we will return 0. Else, so if first is not null, means the list is not empty, list is having certain elements. In this case we are going to check. I will write int count equals to 0. So if your list is not empty, then we are going to check one by one. So T equals to first count plus plus. If then we will write while loop while t next not equal to null. While t next is not equal to null means until we are not reaching the end of the loop, we keep counting this. If t data is equal to key element, okay, if t data is equal to key element, then we will return count value. If t data is not equal to the key element, then we just keep proceeding further in the list by giving t equals to t next. Okay. Now, as long as when we keep on repeating this loop, now either if this condition was true, I will not further execute only. If I found the key element, immediately I am returning it, right? And if I am not finding the key element, then I am moving further in the loop and I am incrementing the count variable. Okay, count plus plus. I am incrementing the count variable. This is the else part. So this is if the list is as long as we reach the end of the list. Now, if I come out of this while loop, means if I find the element, I would have returned it to the main function. If I have come out of this if else statement and if I am coming out of the while loop, it definitely means that I have not found the required element. That is the reason I am still there in this function execution. So in that case, it is going to return 0. Okay, so that is the code that I have written. So let's compile and run. So enter your choice. I'll insert certain elements so that we can execute it with that as a reference data. See, the data right now is 10, 20, 30 and 40. Now I have to search for an element which is option 10. I've given 100 as the element to be searched. It says element is not in the list. Then again I'll give 10 as option. So enter the element to be searched in the list. I'll give 20. So element 20 found at position 2. Clear? So I gave something which was not found, it gave the answer, and when I gave an element which was found, it is returning with the option. So enter element to be searched. If I give 10, element 10 found at position 1, and if I again give 10 and if I give 90 as option, element not in the list. Yes, perfect. So basically we have written all the functionalities except one of the insert functions and one of the delete functions. I want you to do that. Make sure you practice it with all these explanations. I want you to write down those two other functions. And one of the students asked me a doubt in the WhatsApp. So this doubt was, why do we have to create a stub? Is it for checking the function prototype or function signature? So I think Juhita has asked the doubt. I'm just reading out. Will Towers of Hanoi come under applications of stacks? Yes. Towers of Hanoi is a program that is an example for application of stacks. Do we write stubs to check whether there are any errors or conflicting type parameters in the function definition? No. That is not the purpose of creating stub. So using stub, you are not going to create you're not going to identify conflicting parameters in the function prototype, because that is a mistake done by you. Stubs are not used to detect conflicting parameters. If conflicting parameters are given, we don't need stubs. While compiling, we will know. That is not the purpose. See, right now, I have written so many function prototypes here. Right? So many function prototypes I have written here. Basically, I think I have 11 function prototypes here. Now, even if one of the function definition is not available, I will not be able to execute this program. And as I told you, whenever we are writing lengthy programs, we can't wait for the entire program coding to finish before we start checking for errors, checking whether the code is right, whether it is working properly or not. Like right now, if you have observed, I have written the code function by function, right? Module by module. We have written code, we have rectified it. Wherever it was not working, we have checked it, and we have corrected the errors. So all this we have done one by one, right? So stub is required to execute our program. If the stubs are not there, we will not be able to execute the program. So when I write definitions for these two functions only, I will not be able to execute the function program unless and until I have code for all the functions. So what I do is I create stubs. What are stubs? Those are functions with empty definitions. Means there is no working code inside the function definition. It's just like a temporary replacement of function definition. Example right now, insert after function is still a stub only. Deleting given element is also a stub, right? Without that, my program will not even work. See, insert beginning is there, insert end is there. Inserting at a given position and inserting before is all present. Inserting after is also written. No, inserting after is not written. See, suppose I comment this. I will comment this and I will comment delete key also. Delete key element. Because for these two I have not written function definitions, I have told the students to try. Now I will save the program and I want to compile it. See, I am getting errors because first after, insert after is not present. Okay, so function definitions are not present. Therefore, it leads to an error. So what I will do is insert after, I will create a stub. So I'm giving an impression to the compiler that function is present, but actually no code is there. But compiler thinks, okay, this function definition is available. Now again I'll compile. See, delete key is not there because delete key function, still the stub I have removed. No, I had commented it. Now I'll remove this. See, right now delete key is also present, but actual code is not present here. I've just written a temporary replacement, giving the impression to the compiler that delete key function is also defined. But is the function definition containing the actual instructions? No. It's just having one return statement to match this return parameter. That's it. So I'll compile. Okay. Now I can run the program since there are no errors. Okay, hope you understood. Stubs are created for just giving a temporary replacement for a function so that you can test your other functions. Since we have like 11 functions here, for all the 11 functions we can't write the function definitions at a time. Okay, so rectifying errors or identifying errors will become a it becomes very messy and it becomes very difficult to identify. So what we do is we will create temporary replacements, temporary function definitions. Basically, stub is a function definition with empty instructions or no instructions present. If the return type is void, then nothing is required here. You can just give like this. If the return type is not void, if the return type is something, return a value of that type. That's it. So it is just for temporary purpose, so that one by one you can create definitions for each modules and you can test it. Okay, so that you can execute the program. Okay, fine. So this is about the complete program. As I told you, these two function definitions is like your homework. If you're not able to do, it's perfectly fine. Try. Okay, try to do it. I will be sharing the complete code tomorrow in your Telegram channel, and also in your WhatsApp group I will share it. So you can compare the code with the one that I send it to you. Further, if you have any doubts, you can always feel free to ask, and make sure you practice this single linked list program completely, perfectly, because if you master this perfectly, if you practice this perfectly, then most of the questions, most of the programs solutions is going to be part of this program only. It's a very lengthy program, so we have actually we have 330 lines of code, in spite of two functions still not defined. If we define that also, it will go beyond 350 or 360 maybe. Okay, we still have doubly linked list, we have circular linked list, we have ascending order linked list and all that. So but before we write all those things, we have to make sure, you have to make sure that you have practiced this program correctly. Okay, if you have any doubts, you can mention in the chat box or in the WhatsApp. I will try to rectify your, I will try to help you out, clear your doubts, and see you in the next class. Take care. Bye bye.